Hi everyone, I'm Susan Mulvihill and today is an exciting day. I finally get to pot up the geraniums that I overwintered. You might recall from my other video that I had never overwintered geraniums before. So I discovered it's really quite simple. All I did was I dug up my geraniums, I knocked the soil off of the roots to make sure that they were nice and dry, don't want any kind of mold growing, and I put them into a cardboard box, closed the box, put it in the dark basement, and that was it. I checked on them once a month to see that they were doing all right, and pretty soon I started seeing some new growth, which was so exciting. You'll notice these leaves are really dead and dry looking. That is to be expected. I'm going to pull them off. I'm going to do a little bit of trimming back of the plants and pot them up in some good quality potting soil and put them in some light. That is all there is to it. So let me take you through the steps. I'll show you how it's done, and then I'll check back with you in a little bit and let you know how they're doing. Happy gardening! For this project, I needed a pair of pruners, potting soil, some gloves, 4-inch pots, and a tray to set them in. You can also see the first geranium plant to be potted. Notice how dry the leaves look. They need to be pulled off. Here's how the plant looks now. See how some of the stalks look dark and withered? That's not a good sign. So I went down each one until I saw a fresher, greener looking growth and clipped off the withered area right above it. The plant is ready to be potted up. I chose a potting soil that contains both a slow-release fertilizer and some moisture-retaining polymers. I lightly moistened the soil and was careful to pot them up at about the same level as they were growing in their container last fall before I dug them up. I pressed the soil all around the roots to make sure there weren't any air pockets which can dry out the roots. Here's another plant. This one also had a couple of darker, more withered stalks, so I clipped them off, leaving only fresh green growth plus the newly sprouted stalks. You'll notice they're white and very pale green. That's just because they haven't been exposed to any light yet. I placed the tray of pots into an area that gets plenty of light. I'll water them lightly, but will be careful not to keep the soil too wet because that could cause rotting. I overwintered a total of 9 geraniums, and you'll notice there are 9 plants potted up. Hooray! Even though some of the branches grew in odd directions while they were in the box, I'm certain that once they get some light, they'll orient themselves in the proper direction. Stay tuned for updates on how they're doing.